Hey guys, thanks for watching. Today what I want to talk to you about is Samba sharing with an Ubuntu machine. So basically when I went about doing this, I had to find a bunch of information on forums on how to do this properly. I'm not sure why things just don't work sometimes the way they should. It happens with computers, right? We all know it. But it's not as simple as they make it out to be, whereas it should be. So I'm going to walk you through some simple steps to just get basic Samba sharing going on from your Ubuntu machine so that all your Windows machines can access whatever you want to share, whether it's an entire drive or just a folder itself. And yeah, so I'm going to walk you through that process. So first thing you're going to want to do is these steps on the side here. Sorry, right here. You're going to see sudo apt-get and sudo blah blah blah. I'm not talking properly right now. But here, anyways. So sudo apt-get install Samba common and sudo apt-get install system config Samba. And this is going to install the Samba package, and then this is a GUI to configure Samba. It's a little easier than actually doing the Ubuntu setup, or if you just don't want to rely on terminal the whole way through. But you will have to do terminal for this. So what you will do over here is this. Open a terminal. Right in the middle here, and you're going to type in the commands. I have already done this. I don't really need to do that right now, and just for sakes of reasons, I don't feel like making something like my Samba stop working, but it's working right now. So I'm just not going to do that. But this is how you do it. Just follow those simple commands. If you have a mistake, it's probably a typo, or you can just get back to me in the comments, and I'll be able to help you. But so from then on in step, you're going to go here and so what you can do now, another way of installing Samba is if you go on to your disks, right? So if I'm looking at my disk drive, you can right click on them and go properties. You can go local network share. If it would let me. There. Okay. So and when I go share this folder and you go to create a share, it's gonna give you an option of going, oh, I don't have all my sharing property packages installed. And from then on there, you can click the Windows sharing package, the Windows sharing package, sorry, and then also a Linux sharing package. If you don't have any other Linux machine and you're simply just creating a single Linux machine as a server to share out a bunch of stuff, I probably wouldn't bother installing the other package because you just don't need it. So yeah, that's another way of getting Samba up and running without, I guess, relying on the terminal. But using the terminal way is just a lot quicker and simpler. But this isn't the GUI actually that I was talking about. This is the inefficient GUI that I was talking about. If you install the GUI to the side over here, the sudo apt-get install system config Samba, this is a probably just a not as advanced GUI. Or well, I'm saying, sorry, we'll restart that. It's a probably more advanced GUI, but nowhere near. It's not, it's not complicated. Like, I'm not going to say it's more complicated. It's just got more options. So, yeah. So, once we got that open, you can just go again here and type Samba. This is if you got your Samba GUI. You probably should. Makes life easier. And it's going to ask for your sudo password. Okay. So, once we're in here, you can start adding some directories, of course. So, for test purposes, actually, I don't. No, I'll just show you guys here. So you can browse, access a directory, whether it's an entire system itself. Drive itself, or do you want to go through specific folders? And then when you hit, so if I hit, okay, I'll go music. Okay. And you can go writable, visible, and then access. And then you can go access to everyone or only allow access to specific people. Now what I want to talk to you guys about today is when you go allow access to everyone, this is where you're probably going to assume that, or you should assume that it would just, everyone should have access to the drive and there should be no permission issues. But Windows will still give a permission issue, and I'm not sure if it's on Windows end or if it's on Ubuntu's end with Linux. But there is a workaround, which is I will provide here, and it's basically just a simple way of just giving access to where you need it really simply. So especially if you're just like right here, I've got a RAID drive. This is just a backup drive that I'm trying to share to any system part of my network. Of course I trust everyone inside my house network right now. that we can just all back up to, and I don't need to worry about setting specific user permissions and all these things to it. It's just a drive that everyone can see and back up to, and fuck it, if you want to upload a file to it, then you can upload a file to it. But so yeah, so instead of going around messing around with this, and we're not going to talk about that today, what I really want to show you guys is just the simple trick of getting this working quickly by allowing access to everyone. So I'm not going to do that on this drive. I'm going to hit cancel. But what I want to show you here, so if I go configure on this drive, if I go access, it says allow access to everyone, right? And everything writable, visible. So what I want to show you guys here now is if I go to my Windows system, which is a little bit lower here, I'm going to open it. Now I already have that drive mapped, as you can see, RAID 1, but it's saying not access to it. And then again, if I go to my network map and I go to my server, I'm going to get this permission prompt, and I won't be able to enter any credentials that will give me access. Even if I enter the system's credentials for the Linux system, it just won't work. It's just going to give you constant this, or you're going to get some kind of error. And I don't feel like going a little farther than this because sometimes Windows just takes a crash. No, well, not really crash. It'll just, this map stops working and a bunch of more shit. I hate you, Windows, sometimes, but we gotta use you. So, anyways, now the step to fix this on an Ubuntu machine is what you're gonna do is you're gonna go here. We're gonna close this for now. You don't want to open that, or you don't need to use it. Other than you're basically just gonna use that to set your directories, but that's all you're gonna use it for. Of course, if you're using it for permissions, you can do that all too. But if you want to allow access to everyone, this isn't going to work exactly. What you got to do here now is, you're going to go here, you're going to go to your computer, you're going to go to etc, and then from etc, you're going to want to find your Samba folder. Give it a second to load. Wow, being awfully slow today, server. Oh, there we go. Okay, I guess I just clicked on the wrong folder. So now you're going to find your Samba config file. Now you can't actually edit it from the GUI unless you've allowed root, unless you're logging into your GUI through root, but that's pretty stupid. So what we're going to do next is again open another terminal. I sometimes hate when not sitting on the system itself, just SSHing into it. Okay, so now that we're here, what we're going to do is we're going to go cd/etc/sleeve, the same directory that we're basically in with the GUI, and we're going to go Samba and hit enter. And of course, if you understand basic Linux commands, we're now sitting in that directory. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go sudo gedit smb.config. Now you don't have to use gedit. You can use another one of your editing programs, or whatever you want to do to edit code. But I just prefer gedit. It's just simple and easy to use. Okay, so we're in the file, and you're going to want to go all the way to the bottom, and you're going to see here on these other drives, I have a command called force user equals and my username. But on RAID 1, I have taken it off right now just to show for the video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it back on. I'm going to go command respond force user equals, and you don't have to, you can basically at this point, you could even set different usernames. You don't have to give it your, system's username. Obviously, this isn't my root username, but this is just, my username that can access all the drives and read-write all of them. But you could even just set a different username that doesn't have read-write access to like everything other than, of course, what root wouldn't let it do. But you can just change it to what you really need to. But this is just a simple way, again, like what I was saying, is just making sure that every computer in my network can see this drive without issue, so that we can just back up to it. So now we're going to hit save. It's going to hit save and file. Okay, close. And you can actually ignore if you're going to get these messages in them. Inhibits failed. I'm not sure exactly why they happen for me right now. I've been looking into it, but they don't actually affect anything right now. So next, what you're going to want to do is on the side, you're going to see here I have these commands to restart your Samba service, or start it if you haven't even started it yet. So you're going to want to start it, and if you want to stop it, you can stop it like that. But for what I'm going to do is I'm going to go sudo restart. Okay, and that's going to restart my the Samba server on this Linux machine. So I'm going to hit enter. Oh wow, I typed services, not service. Okay, this is going to work this time. This is just a good example of how one simple typo can screw you up in these terminal windows, or just when you're doing editing like stuff like this. So you really want to double check everything. And I'm making a video, so I'm trying to speed through everything, but when you guys are doing this, I really recommend just double checking everything, so you just don't script anything and you don't have to backtrack and make sure where you went wrong. Okay, so there we go. Everything, you can see it stopped waiting. Now it's running again. So now if I go back to my Windows machine here and scroll down, network's reloaded. I have full access to this drive now again. So now I have access to all my iPhone backups, which I'm doing through a nice little server, and all other information that I just store on this drive for good access. So I hope that helped you guys today. That gives you an example of how to quickly and easily share a drive with Linux. Thanks.